Did you know that BMW once made an engine that was so good they quietly stopped improving it? Yes, the N52 wasn't just another inline 6, it was lightweight, silky smooth and way ahead of its time. So why did BMW ditch it? Today we're digging into the engine that might just be the last great naturally aspirated inline 6 from BMW. Hi there, I'm Harris, and on this channel we decode what's under the hood without the boring parts. In this video we're going to deep dive onto the BMW N52, what it is, what makes it so special, where it shines, and yeah, what could potentially go wrong too. Whether you're thinking about buying one or just love the engine history, you'll want to stick around for this. First things first, what exactly is the BMW's N52? This engine showed up around 2004 and ran through 2015 in some markets. It's a 3-liter, naturally aspirated inline 6, no turbos, no direct injection, just smooth, simple power. What made it different was BMW's use of magnesium and aluminum in the engine block, making it one of the lightest 6-cylinder engines they ever made. It also used Valvetronic BMW's variable valve lift tech to improve fuel economy without sacrificing performance. And for real, if you've driven an E90 330i or a Z4 with the N52, you know how buttery that power delivery feels. When you drive a 330i with this engine, you can instantly understand the hype. It doesn't feel fast, it feels perfect. What's your experience with the N52? Drop a comment if you've driven one or, even better, own one. What made it so good? Okay, let's slow down and unpack that. First, reliability. Unlike the turbocharged engines that came after it, the N52 didn't have high pressure systems prone to failure. It also didn't suffer from turbo lag or carbon buildup from direct injection. And get this, the N52 made around 255 horsepower, which was more than enough for daily fun and highway pulls. And second, it was the sound. Just listen to this. It doesn't sound as good as a V8, but it's pure classic inline 6 music. If you had to pick one, turbocharged power or naturally aspirated smoothness, which one wins? Let me know below. Now before we crown this thing the perfect engine, it's not flawless. Let's start with the water pump. It was electric, not mechanical. And yeah, it will fail eventually, often without warning. Then there is the valve cover gasket. Expect leaks around 70,000 miles. Intake trickery. It can wear out and mess with airflow. Easy enough to replace, but annoying when it goes. Now, let's go over the best and the worst models. If you're thinking of buying an N52 powered car, which one will be the best? My top picks for the N52, you can see them on the screen. It would be 2006 to 2007 E90 330i, full power, great chassis, fewer emission extras. 2006-2008 Z4 3-liter, weekend car goals, and 2011-2013 E91 or E92 328i, less power but still sweet and more refined. And the ones that I would avoid is 2006-2007 X3 or X5. Same great engine but paired with more drivetrain complexity and weight. And post 2009 versions in California spec markets might have extra emission parts prone to failure. So basically, if you want the purest N52 experience, aim for a clean 330i with service records, and thank me later. So with all this goodness, why did BMW kill the N52? Simple, emissions and cost. Turbocharged engines were cheaper to make, more tunable and met tougher emission standards. But here's the twist. Many of those turbo engines didn't last as long and didn't sound nearly as sweet. BMW went from the N52 to turbos like the N20, which had timing chain issues. So here's the bottom line. If you want a reliable, smooth, and seriously underrated BMW engine, the N52 is a future classic. Sure, it's got a few quirks, but it's also one of the last true BMW engines that feels honest. Hit like if you learned something new, and if you've got an N52 story, drop it in the comments. Next week we're talking about something else. And spoiler, it's complicated.